Welcome, detectives. Today we're going to delve into the latest rumors swirling around Gotham City. Now, if you've been keeping a keen eye on the bat signal, you might have heard the whispers about a Scarecrow spin-off film set in Matt Reeves' Batman universe. But where's this rumor coming from, you ask? Well, we've got our bat ears tuned in, and this time, it's from a notable source, Daniel Richtman, who's been spilling the beans over on Patreon. He's got connections deeper than the trenches of Arkham, so when he talks, we listen. It seems that DC is looking to emulate the success of Todd Phillips' Joker by delving into the origins of some of Batman's most enigmatic foes. A recent report unveiled that The Fall of the House of Usher director Mike Flanagan pitched the idea of a standalone Clayface movie earlier this year, hinting at the studio's interest in exploring the complex backgrounds of iconic villains, while Scarecrow and potentially Clayface share the Joker spirit of character-driven storytelling. The key distinction here is that these tales would unfold within the grim and gritty world of the Batman film universe. The potential for interconnected narratives and character crossovers suggests a bold and ambitious direction for the Batman's connected universe. In today's video, we're going to discuss not only the buzz surrounding this Scarecrow spin-off, but also my take on what I'd love to see in this film. And here's the kicker. I believe it might just tie in with the ending of The Batman. So buckle up, folks, because we're about to take a deep dive into the chilling world of Scarecrow. Now let's dive into the dark and twisted history of Scarecrow, also known as Dr. Jonathan Crane. Understanding his backstory is crucial to unraveling the potential layers of this upcoming Scarecrow spin-off. Imagine this. A young Crane trapped in a life filled with nothing but darkness. His parents, and believe it or not, even his great-grandmother, weren't exactly poster parents. No, they dished out their fair share of mental and physical abuse. Now, in Gotham's halls of education, young Jonathan, with his distinct appearance that earned him the rather cruel nickname Ichabod, after the character from The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, he was a magnet for bullying from his school peers. But the match that lit the fuse was a dark deed. Jonathan Crane, as a young student, was responsible for a car accident that paralyzed his bully and took the life of the cheerleader who had rejected Crane. This horrifying event became the catalyst for his lifelong obsession with fear, eventually leading him down a sinister path. Now, fast forward to his adulthood, Dr. Crane found his calling as a psychology professor. His expertise was in the study of phobias, but his methods were unorthodox, to say the least. He lost his job in a scandalous incident where he fired a gun inside a packed classroom, accidentally wounding a student. And this, my fellow detectives, was the moment the good doctor took a one-way trip down the rabbit hole into a life of crime. I really like these events as an origin story, so I am going to stick to them in my ideas for a movie. Even if they don't happen exactly this way, what matters is that we see the tragedy of the character and how he became so twisted. If you're enjoying this video, please do me a quick favor and hit the like button. It's easy for you and it helps me and the channel out a lot. Now, onto my theories for how I want to see the film unfold. Once his academic gig goes up in smoke, Dr. Jonathan Crane finds himself in the shadowy depths of Arkham Asylum, the only place that will hire him. But instead of rehabilitation, it's fear that he has on his mind. You see, within the haunting walls of Arkham, Crane begins conducting spine-tingling, fear-inducing experiments on the unfortunate patients confined there. If this film takes place in Arkham, we could see characters like Hugo Strange, who could share a fascination with the minds of Gotham's most notorious villains. Harley Quinn, a new psychologist, could slowly begin to become corrupted after her sessions with the Joker, that we don't necessarily have to see on screen. We could also introduce the minor character of Lockup. He could serve as the antagonist to Crane, embodying everyone that has ever picked on or bullied Crane. He can be relentless and determined to keep the asylum's inmates in check, no matter the cost. So while Crane is trying to conduct his experiments, he is having to hide them from Lockup. Throughout the film, we could start to see a turning point in Crane's demented journey as he starts receiving new patients at Arkham, who've had chilling encounters with none other than the Dark Knight himself. These patients, who've had first-hand encounters with the Caped Crusader, bring a fresh layer of complexity to Crane's experiments. Some of the inmates who have had those encounters and are now at Arkham could be minor characters in Batman's rogues gallery. It could be people like Victor Zsasz, Professor Pig, or Killer Moth. As Crane administers his fear-inducing gas, something remarkable, or should I say, horrifying, happens. These subjects' greatest fears become none other than the Batman himself. And it's at this point that Crane's obsession with the Caped Crusader begins to take root. The idea of Batman, the symbol of fearlessness and justice, becoming the embodiment of terror. Well, That's the kind of twist that keeps Crane up at night. This could lead to Crane's decision to take up the mantle of the Scarecrow, his own dark identity to strike fear into the hearts of those he terrorizes. If you enjoy Batman news and reviews, then be sure to hit that Batscribe button on the bottom right-hand corner of the video. I post new videos every day and can only continue to do this with your support. Now, here comes my theory as to how this film could tie in with the ending of The Batman. At the end of that film, we saw the Joker reaching out to the Riddler to form some kind of friendship. We also know that the upcoming Penguin series is going to be used to set up The Batman Part 2. Well, what if the end of this film is used to set up The Batman Part 3? And at the end of this film, we get a final scene where the Joker is meeting and talking to Scarecrow, and we see him being recruited into some major gang that Joker is putting together that is made up of all of Batman's villains that appear in each of the movies and TV shows that we are getting set inside of the Batman universe. It would almost be like Joker is the Nick Fury of the Batman Rogues Gallery and is recruiting everyone for a major attack on the Batman. That's when things get downright cinematic. A final face-off between the Dark Knight and a united front of Gotham's worst. A gathering of darkness that unites the iconic villains. I actually covered something similar in a previous video I did of 5 of the villains I want to see in Batman Part 2. You can click on the top right-hand corner of the video now and check that out if you haven't already seen it. These ideas, my friends, are the stuff that bat dreams are made of. But right now, we've got more questions than answers, more theories than facts. So, before I slip into the shadows, I need to hear it from you. What's your take on this looming alliance between Scarecrow, the Joker, and the Riddler? And which other villains do you hope to see in this noir showdown? Until next time, stay vigilant, maintain your resolve, and continue to stand unwavering in the face of darkness.